and good evening. Back for another one. Underground World News Live. Let's get the mic check in. Let me adjust something there on the mic real quick. There we go. All right. Right at the gate. Star Fury. Thank you so much for the super chat. Lowrider. Gifting the subs. Everyone that got them, welcome to the underground. Tom, Deanne, Kenny, thank you for the feedback. Flip, good to see everybody. Gabriel, thank you, everyone that shares the stream. Much love, Tooge. Again, Kenny, Tacos, Hoodie Ross. Good to see everybody out there. Bone Score, G6, Hopkinson, Mr. 9. Much love. All right. Yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Hit that like button if you will. The email's dabu7@yahoo.com. There are links in the description below as well. I thank all the mods for sharing links. And you can at me in the chat as well to get my attention. Try my best to keep an eye on the chat and then another one on the stories. Much love, Gabriel. God bless right back at you. And thank you for the super chats, PayPals, coffees, all the support. All appreciated to the fullest. So we've got several things we're going to try to cover here in the next couple hours or less. That's how I always try to put it. You never know how long it's going to take, but plenty to go through here. And much love, Steely. Always sliding in there with the super chat as well. Legendary brother. I hope all is well. So, if you got clear skies and you're to the north, you're going to have a better chance at seeing this. But we've got a geomagnetic storm coming in. It's around a G1, but still this can light up the upper tier of the United States, up into Canada and all that. You might be able to see something going on. And we do have an object that has come or passing within here in the moon. I want to say it probably already did so today, March 13th at 0.08 LD. I cover all the objects that come closer than the moon, because if they're not coming closer than the moon, what is there to worry about, right? You could argue that certain large objects could smack into things and it could send something this way. That could always happen. A lot of fireballs these days, some of it space junk, some of it metals from the heavens, so to speak, that come raining down, and some of them worth a lot of money. So if you see one go down your neck of the woods, I wouldn't just ignore it. I'd try to find out where it went down, where it hit, if any hit. And if you find any samples, get it tested. You just never know what is in it. It's like a little treasure, for real. People have been shocked at what they've discovered. So, with several sunspots turning our way, like 1, 2, 3, 4 in this cluster up here, there's chances for more CMEs in the coming days. So, anything pops off, I'll make sure to update. Again, make sure you're following me and checking my channels, man. Check in on the YouTube page and the X page. I'm censored on both. If you really want to know what's going on, stop in. I had it happen again today. Somebody said, glad to see that you're back in action and all this. And I'm like, look, much love, but back in action? Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm out here swinging every day. I post every single day. And I'm constantly posting on X. Like, it tells me you don't see me. Just period. So it's an ongoing thing. It always will be when you're out here fighting the truth. But a little bit of more space news here for you. The Artemis 2 rocket is ready, they say. And this is what NASA's crewed lunar mission is going to take to the moon. They're going to launch as soon as April 1st. And I'm like, is this a joke? You know, April Fool's Day, the whole thing. I don't have the setup that I want yet, like that I need. You need really a lot. And I thank you, Steve. Steve sent me a telescope here this past year, and I appreciate that to the fullest. But when I talk about locking onto the moon and doing so live, I'm talking about a bigger, bad telescope scope that can get into the craters that I want to get here in the future and live stream and roll with the moon. I won't have to sit here and make adjustments constantly because it's tricky trying to lock into the moon if you don't have one that follows the moon, because you got to constantly sit there and manually try to shift it and turn it. It wobbles it's better to get one the right way. Much love, Kart Racer, and rest in peace, brother. You're missed. Kart Racer had a good setup and he would be on this right now, but the Lord took him back home, and we've had a hole in this department for some time. And one of my goals is at some point to try to get a setup to where we can lock into the moon, because this is one of those moments you don't want to mess up. You don't want to miss. Like, we have a chance to prove that they're faking everything, or they're not, or they finally are showing that they're punching through firmament, what have you, and they're getting to the moon. They're getting through Van Allen belts and all the things that we question about life, getting life through there. Like, getting technology and metal and all that through there is one thing. They can handle high radiation, but then life, it's a whole different story. So many questions. So many people think this, think that. Well, there's a couple ways to put it to rest. And one is to track this mission. When they launch it from Florida, you should be able to watch this thing take off and go straight to the moon. Nowhere else, man. Especially, see this middle image? You see how the moon is in the sky? If we're on this and we know where the moon is in the sky, and we know all the details of how they're going to launch this, they got to do one of two things. They're either going to go straight up in the air into the atmosphere and toward the moon, or for whatever reason, they're going to say they have to wrap around the planet and slingshot around the planet one time to get out there. Now, even if they pull this maneuver off and they say this, but they got to wrap around the planet and all this, it should be tracked. I mean, there's people out there all across the planet right now. We should be able to track this with telescopes all the way around until it gets to the moon. The thing is in the past, so many of the shots have shown rockets going up, and if you follow them, even the ones that are set to go to space, a lot of them in all the solid frames, they end up curving and then go curving off and into the distance, like they're coming back down, like, and you're sitting there watching it. And it makes no sense for something that should be continuing to go up every time. And these are the questions that are asked by, other people out there that don't believe in what NASA is saying. And there's a lot of lies. And until someone can prove one way or another all this definitively, there's going to be questions. But this is a big chance, an opportunity to lock onto a rocket that you should realistically be able to watch it from takeoff all the way to the moon. If that don't happen, we've got problems. So coming up fast is April 1st. It's going to be interesting. If you guys know of anyone that's going to track these or can track this stuff, let me know. It's worth keeping track of, because if not, you're missing a huge opportunity in these events. We haven't gone to the moon, manned missions, or anything like that as long as I've been around. So, what's it say? 1972. That's when they say that it was the last time the moon had humans orbited or were up there. And that to me is absolute garbage. It just is, man. I I don't buy none of that footage. It's really hard to believe that the world bought it. But you know, technology, given the time frame and all that, when you look back at it now, I mean, it's such fakery. All the footage, it's really sloppy, and a lot of things stand out to where it just shows that they weren't there. I've seen enough proof and evidence. They haven't proved to me that they've been there. Just put it that way. There's enough mysterious evidence showing that something's up, that they've lied. And like I said, I'm ready. All eyes on this Artemis, which is the twin sister of Apollo, which are the children of Zeus. Remember, Obama said in his acceptance speech, in reverse, if you reversed it, "Hail to the Pharaoh Zeus." Because Zeus was a giant. He was a fallen. And his offspring, they're all worshipped by Trump, by Obama, apparently all of them. These are facts, Jack. If you don't believe it, you can email me. I'll show you proof. I've put it out there time and time again. Most people are just in denial, and most people that doubt it are just people kind of waking up or snapping out of MAGA. There's a whole lot to learn here once you snap out of MAGA, because you realize it's a left-right paradigm, and then you've got a lot to catch up on. All this time, all these years, you were sitting there with your pom-poms, ignoring all this other stuff. Well, now you see it's relevant, and it all starts to add up. And some people just sick of getting played. Skippy in the house. Again, legendary. Much love. I appreciate that to the fullest. All right, so we got this retired Air Force general. You may recall me mentioning this. This is a pretty big deal. He's still missing. He's got all kinds of background in weapons technologies, exotic technologies, aerospace programs, anything to do with like maybe UFOs, things like that. And he's been kidnapped. Or he's missing. They presume kidnapped. Vanished from his Albuquerque home on the 27th of February under circumstances that have raised serious questions. So a lot of people think that he's being held. He's been kidnapped and he's being held for what he knows. And this may not turn out too good for this man. Cindy, thank you for the PayPal. Drunken Dow, thank you for the coffees. Much love. I mean, in the middle of all this war stuff, this guy goes missing. And his background, man, it really makes you wonder. I think that this is someone that knows something and someone knew it and they got him, and who knows what's going on behind the scenes. Apparently to the public, they're acting like they don't know much. They have this silver alert out for him. And again, if you know anything, they're asking that you contact them. William Neil Caslin, 68 years old, 5'11", about 160 pounds, blue eyes, white hair. And he is MIA. The fact there's no body and all that, he's definitely been kidnapped to me in this instance. They don't went around the house, the perimeter, asked all friends, family, they done all that. And he's like kidnapped, missing. Again, as an investigator, I've got questions that I ask immediately. One of those are, what's a cell phone? Run it. Where were the last pings? Any cameras, anything like that around? The cell phone is critical because most people are going to have it on them. If they're kidnapped, it's going to be on them. And who knows? I mean, if the person gets rid of it or throws it, it's going to ping one last time somewhere. maybe close to the location where they threw it out, whatever. And they can at least go to that spot and search. Um, I feel like someone's got him, holding him, extorting him for information at this point. I don't know if they're going to hold him for some kind of ransom chip. To keep someone alive a long time and all that stuff is not the easiest thing to do in these situations, stressful, crazy situations. More times than none, they extract information that they want or try to. You've seen it in the movies. If they can't get it, they off them. They're done with them, and they get rid of the body, and then it remains a missing person forever. Because you don't know, they could be holding him down in Mexico. Cartel's got him or something. You never know in this environment right now. We've got so many different enemies, so to speak, out there popping up on the radar. Yeah, and thank you for that, Spiro. On the AI, what everyone thinks is AI, Benjamin Netanyahu. Today, some people, it's like looking at the clouds. Some people are going to see this, they're going to see that. But it was pretty obvious to me that the AI slop that was dropped of Benjamin Netanyahu was just that. And I seen what was a telltale sign of AI being used. And a lot of people were like, look, it looks like it's trying to form a sixth finger in one of the shots. And it did. It did look like it. Some people, they said, maybe not. Others are like, oh, yeah. Again, it's just one of them kind of dicey things. But all the signs of AI were there. Then if you go over and you ask Grok if it was AI, it says it's 100% AI generated. So even the AI is telling you that, yeah, that's AI made right there. And basically, I messed up today. And the original tweet that I put out, it showed, for whatever reason, the person had circled it that he did have five fingers on his hands, but the good shot had 6, and it made confusion. And here's more. The Spiro saying like he's missing teeth in the backside. It's saying right there, where there should be some, where he normally has some right there. See, the whole thing looks AI generated to me anyway. You either have an eye for it or you don't. But with AI, it's tricky, right? I mean, these days, you got to watch everything. And let's get this rolling with the breaking update. And a thank you again to those that send me information. I mean, I've got in the title ground stop at all DC airports, and it's gone out in all my links. It's the title and the show, and I've still got people right this minute sending me the exact ground stop, like they don't see me. And people that are close to me, they always sending me stuff. Like they're sending me stuff that like they should see I'm live, and they should see in the title ground stop all this. It's like they don't see me. It's nuts. Because if they would have, it would have been in the feed. The 10 times that I kick out the link, there's no excuse why they didn't see it. They can't say, oh, I follow 1,000 people, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. That's why I flood it with them links right there. It's showtime. Like if you didn't see one of them, there's a problem. And it's a deeper problem if you don't see that. If you don't see that, it's a huge problem. I don't know. I'm so sick of the censorship. It's unbelievable, but I'm never going to get out of the dungeon over here doing what I do. So, with that said, at least we're getting the information out, right? We've got a ground stop in place at all DC area airports due to a strong chemical smell. Now, so it's going like this. Ground stops implemented at all 3 major airports in Washington, D.C. FAA saying that this is a situation where a strong chemical smell is at the Potomac TRACON. Now, News Nation quickly attributed the whole thing to equipment outages, but I'm not so sure that's the case here. Again, the FAA saying a temporary ground stop is at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, or DCA. It's at Washington Dulles, Baltimore Washington International Airport, all because of a strong chemical smell at this TRACON location. That smell is apparently impacting some of the air traffic controllers. It's making them nauseous, or it's doing something here. So again, a ground stop at all those places, a temporary ground stop, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. It says a developing story. I'm going to give it a refresh one time, see if they got any updates. I don't see them saying anything else new. If you guys catch anything on that while we're streaming, let me know. Brother Tooge in the house. Much love. He said he bought a nice shower filter because of this crap. Yeah. That's always wise to do. I mean, sure, also on all of our showers that I got filter system on the whole house. But even like the shower head, it got its own little filter and all that, because I mean, hey, they're out here doing so much crap. But I don't get city water, so to speak, like everybody else. I capture clean and all that, part of the off-grid thing. But city water is going to come with a plethora of chemicals that they put in it, depending on where you're at, fluoride, all that crap. But you just never know. I've seen some horrific city water stories. Like, people send me pictures. It looks like mud water. I mean, from all across the country, Arkansas, Louisiana, New Mexico, California, like, you name it. People have sent me shots of the water. It's been crazy. To see just how bad the water is in this country, but nobody really cares. The place is falling apart. That might have something to do with it. Infrastructure is just shot. Remember, like, I don't know how many years ago now it was, but they passed a big infrastructure bill. That was like the name of it. Like, where'd that money go? Like, they didn't fix nothing. You got bridges still falling apart. Here soon you're gonna have people diving into the freaking rivers because they're going to be going down. I know that one in Cincinnati is crossing the river there. Chunks of metal falling off of it. About hit us one time. I couldn't believe it. That's bad when you got chunks of metal falling off the bridge right there and you're dodging it. Way up high above a river, swerving to miss this stuff. Like, that happened to me. That's why I know. I've been all across this country, man. I've seen the rotten infrastructure. Some of you wouldn't believe it if you went into some of the cities that are across this country. They're shockingly, like, depleted. Like I can't even describe it. It's so worn down and just empty buildings. And man, it's depressing. And it's like where I see a lot more cities going downhill. I mean, how can it not be when you're wiping out jobs, wiping out department stores, wiping out the way of life, how it used to be? You ain't going to go by and see, in most places, the old Toys R Us's or Sears or Circuit Cities or any of those businesses that were staples coming up. They took out left and right. And a lot of it is moved to online. I mean, it's shifted so much that, remember, there used to be big Black Friday sales and all that stuff. People used to squabble, and we would report on that. Not anymore, because it's not so much happening. Because Black Friday, like, don't exist. They switched everything up, and all these online sales, it's just different. Now you've got people going in stores and still trying to walk out with all the goods. It's happening Black Friday or not. Right, so that's a testament to what's happening out there. And you either step up and you secure your place, or you're one of the idiots out there, just let them walk out the door with the stuff. You do that, you won't have a business in a week. So this is a setup. I hope you know that. This whole thing is to destroy this whole place. It's part of a plan by elites, so to speak. And it's even written in books by like Manly P. Hall. This whole country was designed to bring it down in the end. It's an occult ritual, a huge one that lasts over time. Some people can't wrap their head around that, but that's what you're in. In layers. There's many layers to that, but look, if you guys are at an airport and you see anything crazy, let me know. Always here to drop some breaking news. If you guys see any delays, backups, anything suspect. Much love, Sister Q and Joe and family. China, top of the list of the bad guys, right? So to speak. From where we sit in America on this world stage, well, they bought Canada's only antimony mine and they shuttered all the critical minerals there. And like we're in a battle, and like Canada doesn't look like they're siding with us at all in this. They just keep showing that they're going with China left and right in all this. The Greenland thing really set it off because they were really ready to take a military stance with China by their side. And Trump was like, you better think twice about that because the second that you do that, like, you're done. I'll hit you with tariffs. And as soon as he dropped them threats, Carney backed off. The leader there in Canada. So I don't know, man, that they're succumbing to China. And there's a big movement in Alberta that wants to break away from Canada. They really do. They want to break away. They want to join the United States and all that. And Trump kind of rubbed that in his face. Like, look, you keep messing around. We'll go up here and we'll start talking to these people. And like, we'll make that the 51st state. And then the next, I don't know, is it Saskatchewan? It's next to Alberta. They'll work on that as making it like the 52nd state, 53rd. You know, like that's how he put it. But I would rather people keep their independence. Rather my Canadians have their independence and enjoy it, but be in a respectful, allied relationship with your neighbors, us, like I thought we were in. I think as citizens we are. I got a lot of all my Canadian people up there, nothing but love, and they have love right back. But it's the governments, man. They've sold us out, and I don't think that they're really at war, but Carney and them are repping the left, remember, and Trump is the right. So there's always going to be jabstone from the left, right on the world stage. It's how it's set up, left, right paradigm. So on to the next one. 29% of Americans finally figured out the problem. And that may not seem like a whole lot, but it is, because this is a poll of Americans believing that the government wholeheartedly, like 100%, they are to blame. They are the biggest problem for all of our issues in this country. It's all them. No excuses. It's all on them. And like that used to be a lower number, so it's risen. So I just want to throw that number out there. Let's go to 401ks. How many? Hold on. I got to update. 1 second. I have a female rapper, Kiki D, except for the track, bro. Gonna afford the. Oh my. Oh wow. Okay, that's great, man. Yeah, we've got some great music in the works. I had to get that from Crown Jewels there real quick. That update in the chat. Thank you. For all my cats with the 401k. I don't know what you're doing in one still, but I say that because I don't want you to lose everything. That's all. It's the only reason I always say it. Because for someone like me, I can see that there's an obvious trap sitting on the table. And I have for a long time. I've told you for a long time. They're going to take everything. That's what a crash is. Big dogs sell. And see, they can sell legally. So it's not really stealing your money. But like, because they don't sell every day, this works. If they sold all the time, or just one, you got screwed one good time, you'd be out of it. Why none of them sell and dump? They just kind of keep buying little chunks along the way, like Elon does. But they're going to dump. You don't buy to never sell. Someone asked Elon the other day about being a trillionaire and all this. He's like, yeah, but that's all just on paper and blah, blah, blah. When they're sitting in cash and hard assets, that's when they can say that they've got something. Everything else is just like in the paper world that doesn't count, so to speak. He sees that. He knows that. He knows that he too, if he's in the wrong stock, another big dog could sell and wipe him out. They know this, so they don't sell. Like if they sold, it would be known. When these guys sell in mass, it's gonna cause a dump. There's just no other way around it. And if one or two sell, and guys see the market's going, come on, this is one big club. They're all gonna know that this is happening. They're all gonna do it. They're gonna sell at some time. Think about it, man. The problem is with these big dogs, when they do it in tandem, just 3, 4, 5 of these big businesses can bring down the entire U.S. economy. That's the problem with it. It's just once one or two big dominoes, all the rest go, and you're not going to stop it. They will stop you from selling or moving your stuff. You won't be able to do anything. You can see here, hardship withdrawals have hit a record high. So more people than ever actually have listened. More people than ever. That's good. That's a good sign. A lot of people have never heard my voice. Just, I guess realizing what I see, that like, it's what I call the great taking. They're going to take everything, and it's going to cause another depression. How long it lasts and all that, I don't know. The whole goal was to get everything from the people. And once that's done, it's done. It took a certain amount of time back in the Great Depression. And for those that don't know, that was a scam. JP Morgan Chase and the goons plotted on Jekyll Island a plan to cause a run on the banks, and they stole everybody's money. That is theft. That is crime. They stole the farm from you. Yeah, where you should be sitting right now. I'm serious. Every one of you got a right to be pissed off, but nobody does because they're docile. But you got robbed of everything that should have been handed down to you. They took it. Yeah. That Knots Landing property you should be sitting on right now. Yeah. Gone because the government took it. And you should be there. And you would have been if they wouldn't have done this. But they did it. And the whole world knows. And what's crazy is the whole world now knows the whole story. They know that we were scammed and that it was a ploy. It's basic knowledge now. You can go look it up, Google it, find it. But here's the thing. Their seeds are still here. In high-rise buildings, living in mansions, off the money they stole from us. And we know it was stolen. We know it was a crime. We can prove it. They plotted it. Hello? Any good lawyers out there ready to go get back what's ours? Hello? Is it just going to stay asleep at the wheel? You have what is rightfully yours sitting out there. People are so docile. They do nothing. You were robbed. We know it's a fact. In a court of law, you can prove it, and you deserve compensation. Simple. And I believe you would get it. And people just get up off their ass and go get it. I believe you'd get it. Because you're entitled to it. There's nothing they can prove otherwise. Because you could prove they stole it all. You go back and you could be like, oh, my family lost everything. The whole farm, our bank account got wiped out, blah, blah, blah. And it all went to these same people. They have a billion, trillion-dollar empire. They can afford to break you off something. Trust me, even if it causes them to completely collapse. Oh, well. The only reason you're there is because you're built off of our backs. You stole it from us. You should all be pissed That alone, tomorrow we should be able to go into the courtroom. We should be able to file paperwork and get this ball rolling. But nope, everybody's lazy. Nobody does nothing. So it's about to happen again. And even then, people are so docile that when it happens, it's going to stand like, duh. That's how I feel because nobody does nothing. Or maybe then what, you're going to want to protest or something then finally, maybe, I don't know. I've been trying a long time to get people to do something, and like every stream, it's the same thing. But I don't want to see you get ripped off. Regardless if people are going to do anything or not, I don't want to see people get ripped off. I just explained to you how they did to your grandparents, and they're about to do it to you as well. So, where do I put my money if I take it out of the bank? Well, get a safe, bury it, hide it. Where do you park it? Assets like land that have mineral rights, gold, silver, things like that. Not another stock. Everybody keeps asking me and sending me, I think I should jump into. No. If you actually watch the stream and you're listening to me, then you should know I say it all the time. I don't never tell no one to get in any stock. Never, ever, ever. So I don't get it. Getting out of the 401k means getting out of the game, man. And I don't know. Some people are afraid to do that. Some people say, well, I draw off that for my money every month. Well, stick it in your safe and draw on it out of your safe. You're going to have to, man, or it's going to be gone. It's one or the other, man. You either take the initiative after all these warnings to make sure that your savings is not in the bank. I understand you got to pay bills every month. Everyone's got to. You keep a little bit of money in there for that. Almost everybody's going to take a loss on that when it happens, when it gets hit. But I don't think it's going to be, your money's not going to be taken like that. Your money's going to be held hostage until you download an app for a digital dollar. It's done. That's it. That's why when this big attack happens, this hostage event that's going to happen on the banks, it's going to benefit the governments. That's why it's a setup, as it always is. Geez, we've got this thing pegged to the wall, man. Like from 10,000 miles out, we see it coming. We just don't have a date. It's shame on all those SOBs out there that know something and keep quiet and keep it to themselves. They could have saved other people a lot of pain. We go through all this fighting the fight. Just, oh, wow. Okay. Well, Uncle, cool. I just, make sure you got things on a safe location. Anyone out there, and I just wouldn't be someone to brag about, all your stackings on social media. Hear me? Yep. Wouldn't be out there bragging on social media about all your stuff. Just keep you safe. Yeah, I see guys out here on X thinking they're cool. Whole table full of silver rounds and gold rounds and all this, which they're fortunate to have. But it's like, look, dude, like that's cool, but like, you look like you're sitting right in your living room. And look, dude, there's some baddies out there that see that and they're like, dude, where's this dude live? It's the first thought. And you're done. They're on you. They're on you. Just like that. Think that you've got, especially if you're sitting there showing you've got over $500,000 of gold, $250,000 of silver, something crazy like that. They're dead, man. I'm just saying. I see this out there, and I don't want it to be you. But keep stacking, by all means. Keep stacking. Somebody asked me, is this trigger time? At $85 on silver right now. Let me see where it parked, actually. Let me go over, pull up silver and gold. Chart, silver, 81.34. Nice pullback. All right, so you know me, I'm looking for 65 again. I told you that was the window, the buy window, man. And it hit it for like a second. You've got to be on it, man. It hit it. Tacos, Camp Bar, we were all sitting there watching. Some people really got their moves in, and thank you someone for those coffees. I mean, this thing ran up to like $120 to pull back down to like 60. That's half. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you kidding me? Moves like that in silver are just never seen. Remember, we're below 100. So as I was telling someone earlier, this isn't my range. You know, I'm looking for $60, $70 range in silver, but this is definitely an area worth picking up a few, in my opinion. Not financial advice, but definitely, if you're averaging in around 80 right here, I mean, why not? Anything below 100. This thing runs back up and it gets back over 100 again. I'm not sure if it'll come back down below it. You just never know in this climate. Average in though. Don't go dumping the whole stack at 81. If you got $1,000, I personally would take a stab at like a couple $100 worth. Get you a couple ounces or something after two, and wait till it makes a little bit of a better move. As peace happens eventually on the war fronts on the world stage, all this should naturally come down. Now, I don't have a crystal ball again. I don't know what the time frame is going to be like, but you know, look, we were in this game from $12 and we followed silver all the way to 120 here recently. I mean, way more than a 10x was put in for some people that getting it even below 12. The whole goal here is to get in 100 ounces below $100 and ride it till it hits 1,000. I think it'll do it within 5 years. The whole plan is 10. It's a 10-year plan. We just did it. We did it before. The past 10 years, we did it. I see it doing, it could go bananas. I don't want you to miss out. A lot of people missed out. And I keep bringing this up because it's pulled back. People get bored with it. It's not making the headlines. They're like, oh, they forget about it. But that's when you want to buy. When it gets boring and it's pulled back, yeah, that's when you want to buy, man. All day. So it's good at jobs. Volkswagen, 50,000 jobs cut. Just keeps happening. 50,000 is a lot, guys. That is a lot of people. I don't know what to say, man, besides we got to do something as human beings to save our skin, to save our tails. Okay? Because AI is creeping up. The humans that are in this with us have sold us out. And the fallen don't care for us neither. Like the odds are stacked against us. We've got like 3 entities against us. Our own kind, the fallen, and now the jinn through AI. Right? All demon. Jeez, man. This place, there's so much evil in it. Pretty wild, the level it's gotten to. But charts showing that this war is sending a shockwave through everything, through energy, air travel, freight networks, and it is. First it was a tariff thing. Now you're going to have to worry about goods getting here. Like, this whole thing hasn't been going on too long here. Like, if the war with Iran and the Straits of Hormuz get locked down for like several more weeks, we're all gonna start to feel it everywhere. Everyone is. And it's designed to do that. That's why they're doing it. Of course, I'm gonna get to that here in a second, all the war stuff. But it affects the economic stuff, obviously. Nearly 1/3 of people living in North America believe that this world will end during their lifetimes. Another good chunk of people, 1/3 of people living in North America, think that it's all going to go down here in our lifetimes. So, kind of an ominous sentiment. People don't have a whole lot of optimism with where everything's going. We really need something to rise up, man, that's righteous and true and real and not fraudulent. not hijacked and by the government and all this, but something grassroots of the people. Something kind of like, with Charlie Kirk and all them were supposed to represent Turning Point USA and all that. But the whole thing, of course, was assassination or whatever you want to call it, the ritual. Um, that whole movement was hijacked and they handed it off to JD Vance as his base. Like, oh, we support you, our leader. They did that, literally, if you missed it. Crazy. But we need something grassroots that's not hijacked by the freaking politicians in the government. Like we the people of the people, period. All these, everyone wants this to happen, but it never happens. Why does it never happen? Because a lot of the people you're depending on that you think are going to show up to save the day are not. I hate to bust the bubble, bring you into reality here, but you're talking to someone that's ran the streets, met a lot of these people. A lot of these cats on social media, especially the fake act like they're big patriots. Bunch of them still over there swinging on MAGA's nutsack, which is pretty sad and sick because they're pedos. And that's what pisses me off about it. Is I give you a pass on different things here and there, but when it comes down to children being targeted and you don't seem to care about that, I don't care about you because you're a sick, dirty individual. If you don't care, you're that or you're a super coward or both. You're afraid to turn against the beast that you jump. I've seen so many fake patriots. Until they want to come out and ride and show that you're a real patriot, because that's what a patriot is. You're a fake patriot riding for MAGA. Anybody backing these pedos and not calling it out, you suck. Period. You ain't a friend of mine. You ain't a fellow American. You ain't nothing to me besides a pedo protector. A criminal protector. Now, why is that? Why are you standing there and gonna keep being called that? Nobody. It's not just me. It's everybody. You're hearing everybody. You know it. You know it. So why are you gonna continue to take it? Because you sold out to it. That's it. You're never gonna change them. People that sell out to it, they're never gonna change back. That's what I've learned. They live too cush. They can sit on their ass all day in their cushy home, on their ranch with their horses and all their good little lifestyle things because they sold out to the government. And they don't have to worry about the government ever showing up, knocking on the door because they've sold out to the government. You see? And they'd rather live that life than the opposite. They're getting a knock at the door from the government. Sir, your posts on social media, we need to have a talk about. They don't want none of that. They don't want any problems. They want to take the easy way out. You see, they can't stand it when they hear all that. It's the truth. It's the truth, though. It's the only reason you would hate me at this point over this whole conversation. It's because you can't. I'm a mirror. I'm holding the mirror up to you. And you need it done. Because there's no excuse for anyone standing over here with people protecting pedos. Maybe you just ignored and been turning a cheek to the Epstein dumps that have been happening all week long and for weeks now. And all of it, like, dude, there's no excuse, man. There's no excuse. You're Pam Bondi and all the goons are in there protecting Mossad. There's no excuse. In pictures with Mossad, zero arrest yet. It's embarrassing, is what it is. So, the fake patriots, if that's what you're waiting on, like, good luck. It's not going to happen. They're more concerned about selling their product to the crowd, and that's it, and going back to the couch so they can tweet. Yeah. It's sad and it's sick. That's where we're at. Especially with the social media clowns out here. I know there's some real cats out there. And I know a lot of cats out there moving in silence, and that's fine. But in terms of the crowd, the people out here, I've got off my ass and I've ran these streets for decades. I've gone to all these towns. I've gone to these events. I've gone to RNCs, DNCs, inauguration. I've gone to protests like you wouldn't believe, Million Man. I've gone to all this crap. I've met all these people. I've met all these shills on social media in the flesh. Got to know them. I got to see how they operate. I got to see how a bunch of them stage events for clicks. Yeah, what would you know about that if you never get up off your ass? Well, you could take it from me then, because I've seen it. So if you're gonna sit over there and cheerlead one of these people, you better know them real good. If you don't hear me speaking highly on them, it's because personally, I see they're a shill. There's so many of them out there. Again, anyone getting blasted in the feed full scale is a major shill, like getting millions of views. They would never let someone like me get to that point. They would definitely try to come kill me, but before that, or whatever, put you in jail, whatever they're gonna try to do, silence you. But it's way easier just to put you in the dungeon on social media. So I thank all you guys that fight the fight. Thank you. You do make a difference, all of you. Collectively, you do. Like just sharing the message tonight. I wish I could reach the youth. That's kind of why I make the music too. Because I don't know, they hide me from them, and I know that that's the most important thing. Is reaching the minds of the youth, and I know some are waking up. I had a 20-some-year-old email me about where to put his money and all this stuff. And brother, if you're out there listening, man, as I said, get out of the banks. Everything I say here, man, he's wanting to buy a house and have a family and do the American dream, live the American dream, do what, and it blows me away. A young 20-year-old, like, wow, like, he's got these dreams and aspirations. I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, like, dude, like, it doesn't offer like any hope for anyone like that. And it sucks. It sucks to watch a country fall apart like this. So I can understand why 1/3 of the people think that this place is going to go to hell completely before it's all said and done. And, my top tier, top 3, as I always say, threat here, AI, is it making things any better? In this instance, I got another one here. A humanoid robot gets detained by cops because it was terrorizing an elderly woman on the streets. That's crazy, man. Like, this is apparently in Macau. They already got things walking the streets. I don't know. Maybe it was just trying. I don't know what it was doing. It didn't put hands on her. I don't think so. Bro, I figure that they're the same way. I've been up there several times, and it's I don't know. I had the worst experiences of my life up there. Crown Jewels, in NYC. The most racism I've ever experienced in my life in NYC from my own kind, white people. Can you believe that? It's nuts. This world's nuts, man. Let's get to Kentucky, where 4 military drones were stolen from a base in Fort Campbell. Rather interesting because, well, I tell you what, people just talk so much smack these days. Like, they talk crap before they even get all the details, or can even watch the video all the way, or even read the article all the way. They just cast an opinion before they even have any of the facts. So I had some goons, some trolls show up, running their mouth, trying to say, so what does it matter? These can't these can't harm anyone. And I'm like, well, I beg to differ. These things can drop grenades. They just demonstrate, but these goons just were talking crap. They don't care. They're like, no, they're little DJI type of drones. They can't be used to do anything harmful. Dude, you're either here trolling, just lying, or you're as dumb as it gets. Where you been? Not watching Ukraine? Have you not seen that every single one of these little drones are the DJI drones that have bombs strapped to them going in and blowing people up? Huh? Huh? Not Predator drones with missiles strapped to them, fool. And they just wanted to argue. Well, the facts of this: 4 drones get stolen. The drones have been shown to be able to be used in weaponry all over the place. Doesn't matter if they're little drones. People get things stuck in their head, man, that is detrimental to them. Thinking that, you're missing everything. Like, these are some of the most deadly drones. Because you could strap C4, a bomb. These drones right here have killed more men in Ukraine than any Predator drone. Do you understand that? Of course, this person probably isn't listening, but it's the truth. And this is why I tell you all the time, you should learn tactics from Ukraine, like the netting they put around their vehicles. They even got full-blown highways where the whole highway sector has got a net over it because they have to, or these type of drones come down on them and blow them apart. All day long. All day long they do. So to act like this isn't a threat and all that is stupid. And again, I wonder, are you just stupid or are you a government troll? And I found it odd today that when all these trolls came attacking me, they were responding to me and they were responding to a certain account. Now, I put this on X. You'll see this on X, the account name. There's a certain account that they were responding back as well. And I look, the account didn't follow me or nothing else. And it was like, hold on, like none of you follow me. Why are you responding to this person along with me? But this whole coordinated attack I seen kind of came from one area, and I only noticed it because of my notifications. Notifications were saying this person responded to you and this Cliff, whatever it was, over there. And then a bunch of people responded back to me saying, oh, yeah, that account is known for causing issues with people. So it doesn't surprise me neither. The trolls were a whole nother level. So whether it's government or just butthurt people, people need to get off the fence, pick a side. You're either riding for the right side or not. People are going to have a difference in opinions. Get over it. You like the Reds. I like the Astros. Whatever. Like, you're really going to hate someone over that? That's high school. But I feel that's where some people are stuck in high school. They only want entertainment, and that's bad news. So, some added information I found tonight that makes this whole thing super suspect. Not only did they put a $5,000 reward on information on all this, the guys that stole it, apparently, they had access to the base. Who were they clocked in under? You could see this guy's face. Get out of here. Who was clocked in under? To get into the base, it's a secure base. You see, you have to show identification. You have to do all that to get in. Who was it? Whose ID did they use? They're not saying none of that. This happened back in November. Why are you saying it now? This feels like a manufactured type of thing. It feels like something's about to happen. And they've waited to this moment to drop this information with all this popping off. That way, to me, if something does happen, like right now here recently, like kind of soon, this is fresh in the minds of everyone. And they're going to be like, oh, terror, whatever. We are on the path of terror. And it's not going to stop. This is ridiculous, though. Anything stolen from a base like this, multiple vehicles, again, they're holding back information. Brings me to my next one. An armed Muslim man wearing military fatigues and gear, tactical gear, was arrested in Texas after walking into a military or to an elementary school with weapons. The suspect, the mainstream called him Kyle Chris, is his name. These characters with two first names all the time, I'll tell you. They failed to mention in the mainstream video clip that I put a video out on this, that his name is Mui Mohanad Najim. So the other place had Muhammad. Mohanad Najim. That's his Muslim name. They conveniently left that out of their entire script. But it's the truth. And I think it's a pretty important detail that you don't need to be leaving out on purpose to fit a narrative or to do whatever, or try to keep it squeaky clean or to spin it some other way. They didn't mention at all his name, the Muslim connection, but others have. And so this guy rolls into the elementary school, and how he got in there is someone was walking out and he timed it to where he caught the door before it closed. And when he got in there, I guess a secretary rolled up on him and was like, "Yeah, can I help you?" And he was like, "Oh yeah." She caught him off guard. He was like, "It's a security here." And she was like, "He's doing something. Do you have an ID?" And when the guy was asked for an ID, he said no, and he abruptly left. And he left the scene. So it was a really messed up situation. It wasn't like he had a kid there or anything. He had a taser and he had a gun on him. He was in tactical gear and super suspect. So he's been arrested. This is another thing I'm going to let you all know. You know how they busted him? They tracked him off of flock cameras. Yep. Same camera systems put up in like all y'all states. On the highway. We're all getting tracked. Big time. Other places, way worse than others. Flock system. Track this dude. That's how he got busted. They're tracking everything. I'm warning you. Everything. People have no clue. A jury finds 9 Antifa members guilty of terrorism charges in the attack on the Texas ICE detention center. So we have a jury finding Americans guilty of domestic terror. This is like, here we go. Here we go. Now, since it's Antifa, a lot of people are going to be like, well, they deserve it, blah, blah, blah. Especially coming from the right, because they associate them with being left-leaning. But as soon as Newsom or somebody gets in there from the left, they're going to go MAGA hunting, and this is going to be MAGA. It's going to be people from the right. You watch. You watch. And they're going to get hit with domestic terror charges, and everything we ever warned you about all this is coming true. It's just crazy how the right sits there and watch all this go down and doesn't stop and think for a second that this won't be used against them. This is nuts. So they're all found guilty on domestic terror charges. And this brings me to the next terror event. This is the Michigan synagogue attack that took place. This individual, terrorist individual, they're saying, was a naturalized U.S. citizen from Lebanon. And of course, attacked the Israeli temple. The Temple Israel Synagogue in West Bloomfield Township in Michigan. Okay? This individual rams his car into the building, bails out, launches an explosive. The vehicle catches fire. The explosive they never really explained, but they engaged him and they killed him. So that was at Temple, okay? That was a temple. There was multiple, there's been all kinds of events popping off here. Okay, and they're saying, okay, that was a terror type of event. Then we had a shooting type of event at Old Dominion, where they say a Muslim individual started to shoot people, an attacker at Old Dominion. And this is the craziest part. This is the craziest part. I dropped a tweet on this, man, with a gif on it of some Simpsons or some dudes like cartoon characters beating the crap out of someone. But these students killed the suspect with their bare hands. Again, Old Dominion students killed the shooter with their bare hands. Boy, you just don't see or hear about stuff like this every day. Let this lady describe the situation here. Back
There
it up.
were students who were in that room.
How was he deceased?
There were students who were in that room that subdued him and rendered him no longer alive. I don't know how else to say it, but they basically were able to terminate the threat.
So he was not shot?
He was not shot.
He shot 3 people?
Correct. We have information that he shot 3 people.
The one that went to Virginia. How was he deceased?
See? Due to Old Dominion, whooped him and executed him. And like nobody questioned it. Ain't nobody saying nothing. They're just like, yeah, they neutralized the threat. I mean, how you can't say anything. You can say nothing. You could say nothing. Now they're thinking that someone was able to at least get behind him, put him like a chokehold or something, and like just started beating on him. And they beat him until they beat him to death. It's crazy. Like I don't know how else to put it. It's just a wild one here. It's wild, man. I have a lineup. Should I jump over? I'll wait till I get to the Iran stuff here before I pull up the Twitter lineup. But I've got Palantir's CEO. A lot of times we talk about Peter Thiel. That's because it's his baby. But the CEO is Alex Karp. And he says that all this stuff is going to shift the power away from Democratic voters and toward hard working class men. Well, the counter that people are going to have to this is that there's going to be no hard working class men left because AI is going to eliminate it. He doesn't have a response to that, which is scary. DOJ documents show that the former British Prime Minister, Tony Blair, met with Jeffrey Epstein at 10 Downing Street, Iowa, to discuss religion. Why is it 10? This stands for Io. And what does this mean in the Greek and connect to? This connects to Apollo and sun worship. And it's right there. The Nephilim, the same ones. It's every time. It connects back. The same ones Obama said he worshipped. Hail to the Pharaoh Zeus. The same ones Trump worships. His whole 66 floor penthouse suite that's all gold. The roof is done in all the fallen. And you wonder why, again, NASA names all their missions after Apollo, Artemis. They're paying homage to their fallen. And that's what 10 Downing Street represents as well, if you don't know. Now you know. All this blackmail is just that. It's a dirty game here. Am I shocked that Tony Blair met with Epstein? No. I tell you, the Epstein stuff is dropping. It's dropping stuff that people just can't. And I think this is part of the tactic. It's dropping stuff that people just can't even almost believe. They're like, there's no way. Then they're going back and they're finding out that it was one of the emails. They're like, there's no way. Like I thought for sure that one was made up or something. Like, nope, there it is. They got where it came from, the number on the file and everything. And it's all there. And they're like, dude, like this is crazy. And when I pull up the feed, I'm going to show you a couple here in a second. But they say a foreign hacker cracked into the FBI's Epstein files in 2023. You're so weak. This is garbage. Let me guess. He deleted all the Trump stuff. Or so, I don't know. Anyhow, they're trying to say someone got into the systems in 2023. and was disgusted at what they found. And okay, well, let's go to testimony here from the guard that was going to be there, that was there the night that Epstein died. Now, if you don't know, she's been brought up because there was a search done by her, apparently, within the hour before he was found dead. And her account received thousands of dollars, like she was paid off in the weeks prior. So it raised a lot of questions to get you caught up to speed here. So we'll run this clip.
Well, the recent media reports, what you just said, is very concerning, especially the suspicious activity report on a $5,000 mysterious deposit that she had. And the reason that stands out to me, Jesse, is because very seldom are suspicious activity reports even reported for sums less than $10,000. So that's a mystery there, and that's something that, according to the DOJ documents, they never looked into, never asked her about. So because of this, because of the media reports, and because of the fact that, honestly, most people on the committee aren't confident 100% that Epstein's death was by suicide, we're going to ask Ms. Noel to come in for a transcribed interview. Again, no one's accusing her of any wrongdoing, but we have a lot of questions about Epstein, questions about who else was involved in abusing girls. Why did the government not do a better job of investigating and prosecuting Epstein when they had a chance years before they finally convicted him? Was Epstein a spy? Was our government involved in any way, shape, or form in trying to destroy evidence or hide evidence from any of those four properties? And now, was Epstein's death a suicide, as the government has reported, or was there some other mysterious factor involved in his death? So, again, no one's accusing this prison guard of any wrongdoing, but I will announce tonight on your show, we are going to ask her to come in and sit for an interview because we have a lot of questions.
I mean, fair enough, right? A lot of questions, but I'm sick of all this. Let's ask questions and no one goes to jail. That's all any of this has been. And I'm not going to play any of this clip. This is of Trump in Hebron, Kentucky. Hebron, if you want to call it that. We call it Hebron. I should know. This is where I grew up, born and raised. So I know the biblical place, they call it Hebron or whatever, but out here in KY, they call it Hebron. Okay, so Donald drops in, and anytime they do this, it's a conundrum. The whole northern Kentucky area with the airport is locked up. The highway's locked up. I remember back when Obama came in, it was the same way, and it was a nightmare traffic wise, and like all because they're coming to speak. So Trump comes and he speaks, and you see some of these things I don't have to watch a video. I don't need to hear anything that they say. I don't need none of that. All I need is just show me a frame, the title, and the picture here, what I'm looking at, right? Trump predicts that a boxer and YouTube star Jake Paul will run for office during the rally. He says, "You have my complete and total endorsement." I'm going to tell you, this man is in the club, highly on the dark side. Highly on the dark side. And you were looking at, I'm not going to say like initiation, but kind of. This is the initiation of Jake Paul and what he was meant to do. Because none of these fighters fight for long. They're after to get these checks. And then most of them, they're in the club, they step into the political realm. He is showing you right now that he is their pick for the youth, for the future to come. They are dropping the seed right now in here for the side, for any of the youth out there that supports Trump, that this is him. complete and total endorsement. Complete and total. To this star, to the youth, YouTube star. Some of you may not really know who he is or this and that, but he's a piece of work, I tell you. Him and his brother, they both, when you go back and you look at them, just like the Tate brothers, these are people that the establishment got a hold of, and they knew that they would be prime as masculine vicars for their agenda. And these guys signed up for it. They played the part. Yeah, like the Tates, they got all this stuff rained down on them. They got accused of this and that. Jake Paul's even gone through the same, and we'll go through more. But they never really get strung up. A lot of it keeps them in the news, and publicity is publicity, whether good or bad, is what the famous people will tell you. And I'm telling you now, Jake is made a stir in the world, in the boxing world, in the fighting world. It's largely been over what people call rigged events, rigged fights, all of them. Tyson fights, all these fights, like rigged fights, all for money. And that's one thing they have done. They've made a ton of money. The style, the way that they do it, the way that they're promoting it, the way that they're running it, just bigger names fighting, fighting fans want to see that, and they're pushing that. Rather than UFC could put up a card that sucks or something. Like right now, Jake Paul's pushing Gina Carano, Ronda Rousey. That were two of the biggest female fighting stars on the planet. And he's running the promotion. And he's saying that the UFC's dying. He's doing numbers. How is he doing numbers? How has he got all these millions already? Because the club let him. This man's dangerous. To your youth in all of it from here on out, you better see him. You better know him when you see him. Okay? You better know what you're seeing when it's happening. An initiation for the next generation. This man, this face will be around for a long time. And this is an establishment man. You see it right now. You're smart enough to know it. So this is the next generation. Remember, Trump's like 80. And as they say, it was Joe Rogan saying, like, he's only got like maybe 10 years left, like, of life on average, like, so it's like they're going to need a younger generation that has a base that it's like Trump. You can't take you can't take all of Trump's everything and try to give it to JD Vance and pass it off. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work for many different reasons. For one, this whole thing's going to come down on Trump. He don't care. And that's going to be to JD's detriment, I do believe. At first, it looked like it was all gravy and good, but he's going to ransack this whole place so bad, they're probably going to go dim and get away with it. Hell, they got away with it. Biden, nobody did anything. Well, all I'm saying is I see what they're doing here. A new face in the political realm. He made sure they choreographed this whole thing, obviously, to make sure he was here for this to be put in front of the eyes of all these people. And I'm just saying, man, you watch in a short amount of time, Jake Paul is going to be somewhere running for something political. You mark my words. You mark my words. He'll do the whole promotion thing like he's doing. You rock things till the wheels fall off. But again, they all move into the political realm. That's where they're needed. The beast wants their base. You see? And the beast help them get there anyway. You wonder why, again, these guys get all these views and they get all this stuff. And they come out of nowhere. It's because they do it. They put them on the pedestal. They promote them. They're men. We're obviously not. We're like the exact opposite. When I see them, we got to call them out. Watch. From here on out, Jake Paul, buster. Buster. Sell out all the way. Knowing 100% what he's doing right there. Buster. None of these people care about it. All these people have made the decision to play the game. They said, "Oh, you guys get away with it," and like, "Oh, you guys are the ones controlling everything. All right, what do I got to do? Oh, I just got to go out here and say this and that. Let me give it a shot." They go out there and they can lie to the people and rally them all up and get them all aroused and like, "Oh, this is easy," and that's it. They have no conscience. They have no. If they cared, they wouldn't do it. They're not good souls. They're not good people. You see, so they're playing the people. Just the fact that they're there, they chose that, oh, this is going to be easy to play the people. That's why they're there. If they had any bit of soul, consciousness, any of that, they'd be calling it out. He would have took this second, this moment. He'd have made historic, man. He could have been legendary. If Jake Paul was a real deal, when he had the mic right here, he would have jumped on here and he would have started calling Trump out. He'd have been ready for it. He had everything pre-written. He had everything like ready to rock, calling him out on this, on that, bam, 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 to where they had to like tear him off the mic or something, shut the mic off and all that. That would have been legendary, but he didn't do it. Look at this. Look at his pit. He's sweating bad up there on that stage. Anyhow, watch out for the Paul brothers. I think the other one, Logan, they seeded him into the WWE, again, to get all the fame and all that, because he sucked and really couldn't fight. But I don't think Jake could probably fight either. It seems all of his fights were rigged, even against Tyson, like all of them. Hey, what do you expect? This fake world. Here's one for my people over in Virginia. I love you guys, but your governor, Abigail Spanberger, apparently doesn't. She is expected to sign a sweeping gun ban into law. Look, I got some, like, one of my boys to talk to tonight. G-Man. He's gonna have to deal with this because he's down there in this neck of the woods. He's right across the border into Virginia. And we've often talked about, kind of jokingly but serious, that there's counties down there that would join my state, like a secession. Yeah, because people are sick of it. I don't know what to say. They're coming for your guns, man. SB 749. Look. Oops. Well, that's going to be played at the end of that. That's a new one. I'm sorry about that right there, but that's a new track that'll be displayed at the end by Crown Jewels. He sent it over to me and he just started playing because I downloaded it. I didn't think it would immediately play. Anyhow, it was a little tease. So yeah, got that coming at the end of the track. And again, if you guys are watching later and you're like, what is he talking about? Music? And you go to the end of the track and like it's blank for like minutes, it's because the song got trimmed out. Sometimes I got to do that because of AI. Even my own songs, it's stupid, but that's AI. And rather than fight it, I just trim it out real quick and just whatever. Sometimes I have to do that. If you hear silence, that's why. But back to the gun thing. It's a very important thing. My brothers and sisters around the world are living in countries that don't have this right. It's not per se their fault, but like their peoples in certain instances let themselves get into a position where they took the guns from them. And it's put them in a hard position, a bad position. And like we can never become that. Never. I'm in a state in the United States, I feel like outside of like the aliens coming down, that card being played, and like them saying that you got to be peaceful and taking our weapons and smashing them into plowshares and all that crap. Like this place isn't giving up its weapons. But I'm going to say this. I think they just made your weapons obsolete in terms of the biggest threat, the kill threat, which is AI. Your bullets are not going to stop weaponized Tesla or Chinese bots. They're not. Especially the bulletproof weaponized ones that are made for war. They're not. We are sitting ducks at that moment. You have no way to stop them. There's ways. You have to spend the time and sit here and put the brainstorm it and put the time into thinking about it. There's ways to defeat it. That's what having a good group of people is for. Shoot ideas off of one another because you're going to need to. I say it all the time. When Teslas roll up in a Cybertruck in your neighborhood, what are you going to do? When these Tesla bots jump out and they start going door to door, most neighborhoods are not going to be able to stop 5 of them. So you think about that, okay? We're sitting here fighting tooth and nail for a right to keep our right to bear arms. But in the end, when they're going to send bots in on us, Waco style, to like Waco you, to come in and get you and snatch up your children and kill all of you and take you and do whatever they want to do. You either take out them bots. And so you're not killing a person when you're doing this. So this is a whole different mentality. Do you understand me? Everyone that was sitting there like, oh, we can't fight back, we want to kill nobody. You're not killing nobody here. These are the bots coming after you, and they're going to kill you if you don't do something about it. Okay? So now, Granny can load up a shotgun and not feel any harm about it. Okay? With buckshot. Because that buckshot, headshot, you're going to have to come. That's what it's going to take. Like big metal. Little bullets, I don't think are going to do a lot to these Tesla bots, especially the bulletproof ones that Elon's done shown us the bullets just ricochet off of. What are you going to do then? Like, leg shots. Leg shots. Take out the legs, man. These things are going to be crawling around, but what do you do when they self-detonate? We got a lot of problems coming. I bring them up, and I keep saying it because no one else is talking about it. These are the worst things you could think of. This is the nightmare. Robots and AI get sicked on us. What you gonna do? Well, I don't know. Never thought about it. Well, that's why we're talking about it now. Somebody better start putting some thought into this. I bring it up over and over for a reason. Really, we need to get a Tesla bot out here in the field, like something can come at us, and we need to like train. All these people buying these Tesla bots like to be their mate and all that. And I'm like, no, like weaponize this bad boy and like send him at us. We've got to see how we can stop him. Maybe put it on video, show the world. I think that'd be a really good idea. I think it'd be awesome. I don't know how much one of these Tesla bots are. I definitely can't afford one, but if anyone wants to donate one, I'll take you up on it and we'll put it to the test. Put them through flamethrowers, bullets, whatever it takes to take them down. And then we'll review what it took. And then maybe just putting out one video and people seeing it, they're like, wow, like, dude, it took a lot to stop that dude. Like, yeah, well, like maybe you should start thinking about how you're going to do this. You see what I'm saying? Like, we've got to do this. We've got to wake the people up. It can't be last minute too late. No one stands a chance. I went because I ride for my people. And I know some of you do too. But I went, I forget the year. Maybe it was very beginning of 2020, like right before lockdowns and all this. They threatened the same crap in Virginia. Same stuff. And there was a rally. And I was asked to go. And I said, yeah, we're going then. And we went. We packed up, went, live streamed. And I went to Virginia, to the Capitol. Standing with fellow Americans. Thousands of them packed the streets. They brought a guillotine up and left it sitting on the street corner in front of the Capitol. But to go onto the Capitol grounds, you had to disarm. And that was messed up. The whole play had a fence around it, and everyone was like outside the fence. Some people were in and going in and out, but you knew that every single person with a camera that was going in and onto the property and into the place to get a little bit of footage, they were disarmed, every one of them. So while we were there, I'm standing there and I like get dropped. I can't stand up. Like I hit by like a weapon. The guys around me couldn't believe it. They're like, there's no way. Like, dog, like, what now? I could not walk. They hit me, hit like my lower back and dropped me. They had to post me up against a light post in the street corner. And they're all like, dude, like, what the? And I'm just like, yo, like, they saw it. They saw that something took me down. It was like, it was nuts. It was nuts. They were like, dude, what did they hit you with? And we're looking around for weaponry or anything if they got off our rooftop or anything. And it's like, dude, I don't know. But they did something. And it pissed me off. It took me a bit, and I was able to, it took me like 10 minutes before I was able to even walk again. It was crazy. And here I am right now dealing with all these issues. Can't feel my arms. They don't know what's wrong with me. I've been hit by so many chemicals from this government too. It's insane. But yeah, I was in Virginia riding for my people, and I got hit by a weapon and dropped in the street, and it pissed me off. A lot of people after that came to Kentucky to a rally down here. It wasn't a protest. It was just it was a rally, and the people were shocked because the same people that were told they had to disarm at the Capitol in Virginia were able to walk right on in to the Capitol here in Kentucky on the Capitol grounds with the weapons right out in the open. And they're like, what? I'm like, what? You smell freedom? You don't have that up there? You don't. And that's the difference between one state and the next. Let me tell you. And around here, they got smart with it. They said the hell with a permit. Like, it's this constitutional carry. Meaning it's like Wild West. Like, as long as you ain't a felon or whatever and all this stuff, like, you got a right to constitutional carry at all times. Unless a place specifically says not to or whatever. And we like it like that. Because if a nut wants to roll in to the gas station or to the church or wherever it is and decide he's going to pull that weapon out, someone's putting him down before he can get a shot off. And if he does get a shot off, well, he's getting put down, period. Because everybody in the back pew, front pew, in line at the gas station, behind the counter, is holding. And I like it like that. And that's why you don't see them mess around here. They'll get one put in the face. For messing around, for trying to put people in harm's way. So if you're in a place that takes you right away, you're a sitting duck. And I just don't like to be in those places. Trust me, I go into enemy territory when I have to. Like, even going into DC every single time since the first time I was there, I told myself I'm never going back in there. I'm never going back in there. And I've gone back because I've had to cover stuff. But a lot of times we'll park and we'll sit on the other side of the river, man. Crystal City. And even beyond. And like even get hotels out there on the outskirts because we don't want to have nothing to do with it. Or even walk in across the bridge, across the Potomac. Devil's Playground's a different animal, man. I go on and on about the equipment, the weaponry, what they've done to us in DC and all that. But Virginia, not looking good. I hope you rise up and stop it. The leftist media quiet after 4 suspected Islamic terror attacks in 2 weeks. And see, I knew they were at 4 officially because their shill, Ted Cruz, was posting on this today, saying that We're at 4 attacks. So that's where we're at. Ever since the start of this Iran war, this how they're keeping tabs of this. 4 events are being put in the terror basket in 2 weeks. And I expect they're going to continue and ramp up. Let's go to the UK. Again, much love, Crown Jewels, Daz, all my cats over there. The government urges schools to snitch on anti-Muslim hostility and Orwellian crackdown. I'm so sick of this. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of seeing my places getting wiped out. I'd love to go to Ireland and see it for Ireland. I'd love to go, you know, to London, and see my people there for, you know, for the roots, not a bunch of people that can't assimilate running around causing chaos. All right, so you've been sold out pretty bad. When they're urging your students in school to like snitch, I posted this earlier. This is where you flip the script. Someone needs to walk in here and ask if there is the same law on the book for Christians. Period. Because if they're not, it's discrimination. And you need to start using what they're giving. If they are discriminating you're the ones actually being discriminated. You need to stand up. You're the ones that should be protected. So you are being discriminated against big time at this point. If they have any rule that's saying people got to snitch on someone that's anti-Muslim, well then why isn't the other way around? Have them explain to you why that is. Why they can get away with it. Why they're preferred over you. Like, people got to start making moves and asking questions, because you got to start holding accountability for the people in office. This is what this all comes down to in the end. Teachers, officials, all of it. Start shouting them down. You ain't got to be violent. This is what protesting is all about. But again, you don't see it out there anywhere. They say it's useless and nothing comes of it. But oh yes, it does. It brings change. When it's outside of an office, a senator or someone that sold you out every day out there chanting, and they can't even get out for lunch without having to go through a chanting crowd or got to try to hide. You're not threatening them. We never said that. You're never threatening them. You're just showing up. And your presence speaks volumes. The power's in your numbers. The power's in the people, in the politics that we address. Power is in your numbers and flexing them. People won't do it. So if you start to do it, not with pitchforks, but take cookies and milk. All right? Don't let them flip the script on you. Whatever. Like, show up peacefully. And then when the camera's rolling, be like, oh yeah, we just showed up with cookies and milk. Just want to talk to our elected governor. This is day 25. We've been sitting out here, and he seems to keep slipping out the back door through some underground tunnel. I don't know. We can't catch him. Like, just take the peaceful route. People are going to see that this dude's running from you. The election comes every 2 years. If he wants to keep run forever, like, you see how easy it is to start changing things, and you can do it peacefully. Like, if you want to do something like in my neck of the woods, I'm all about it. If you're afraid they're going to shoot you, just take me. Like, I don't care. Okay? If that's what you're worried about. I don't want to hear any excuses, but like, I hardly hear anything. It's always crickets anyway. People usually don't do much unless they're forced to. I pray for the people that are outnumbered by sheep. It sucks, don't it? It sucks when you've got some good people and you want to do good things, but things are going bad because the sheep are taking the pack that way. That's what I warned you about digital currency thing coming up. When they pull this event off of the digital currency, as long as they get a majority to download the new app and the digital wallet that'll match whatever they had in their account, as long as they get a majority to convert, they're happy. So Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Just chopped down like 100 people out of nowhere. I don't know if this is YouTube doing it or if it's Restream. Still trying to get to the bottom of that. And I dropped Rumble tonight because of the issues. Again, if anyone wants to be a mod on Rumble, email me and let me know if you remember. I'm probably gonna have to have your channel link, your name or whatever to plug in there. But if I get some mods on Rumble lined up, I'll start streaming back over there. So, a French soldier gets killed by an Iranian drone swarm. You would think that after one soldier gets killed, you'd be pissed off at the people that did it, right? Well, no. France turns around and they seek a deal with Iran to safeguard getting through the shipping lanes in Hormuz. They're like, oh, screw America. Screw our allies. We're going to strike up our own little deal over here. Screw the fact that our own soldiers just got killed by Iranian drones and everything else. They just don't care. Macron and them do not care. You know, none of them do. That back all the Ukraine stuff. They do not care about life. So it says France and Italy quietly seek a deal with Iran. So then Italy comes out of nowhere and they're like, hold up. It says Italian diplomatic sources deny talks with Iran. And they're saying that the U.S. or the news sources or government or whoever has got it twisted and they better get the story straight because they didn't do this. They're not doing this. They're not seeking talks and all this. But it looks like France is, and they're not denying it. So France has just been showing us they're not a good ally, and Macron's a dictator in his own right. And Italy saving face with that comment, though. And let's jump into the war stuff. I want to point out that Trump has bombed like 9 countries more than any other president, like in like a year's time or something. He has a record. We've seen it over on X. One of those places was Nigeria. And if you don't know, they are now aligned with the Shia movement, especially after they killed Khomeini. And here's the thing, man. This wasn't just some other killing. This was killing a spiritual leader. Like on par with the Pope, kind of. You know, like that. The blowback is going to be unreal. I don't even think it's begun. I think we've just seen some stage crap. Like, there is going to be a combination, I believe, of stage theatrics, and you're going to have real kamikazes that said, you know what, Ayatollah, I ride for you. You martyred, I'm martyring right behind you. And they're going to go in on like a legendary tip, and they're going to make a move. You now have Nigerians taking up this oath. Okay. This is spreading in the world. All these people turning against Trump and all this. It isn't good for us Americans. Again, when we get hit, it's because they're looking at us like, well, you're in the belly of the beast. You're allowing Trump to do this. You're allowing your government to do this. So that's what they're saying. You know, unfortunately, they're not hearing cats like us over here that like know that this is like a pedo regime and all this. Which is nuts because Iran's been calling it out on social media. They're like, look, the pedo regime thinks they're going to come in here with ground forces. Bring it. Calling them the pedo regime, like rubbing it in their face that that's what you all are. And it's nuts because you can't argue with that. You can't. Trump and them are so smoked right now. His numbers are the worst ever in history, like ever for him. They're the worst ever for a president. Like, it's really screwed every Republican in this primary that's coming up because everyone is going the other way. And that's how it works. They don't want any more of this. And they think the answer is going to be the good Democrat, which is not the answer. It's left-right paradigm, but that's where the sheep are going to run. They're going to herd them back the other way, man. A brand new intel assessment says that the regime is not close to collapse after 2 weeks of war. So propaganda can be spit and all that, but they're saying they're not close to collapse. Trump announces tonight, kind of breaking this evening, that we just carried out the most powerful bombing in the history of the Middle East, is what he says. Which means we had to rock some places. And I don't know how many people are going to be alive by sunrise and by tomorrow morning's headlines. Maybe even tonight. And I'm not able to watch the main feed, obviously. Silver Sailor, much love. He's ticked off that sailors and Marines are going to get sent. I'm about to get to that. Right here, a $10 million reward has been put up for people that drop any information for the top 10 Iranian leaders. And they've got them here. Showing them, some of them's image. They're telling people that snitch them out, they'll give you millions and that you can move to America. So that's what they're depending on right now. Huge bounties of millions, hoping that some of these individuals get snitched out. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Like this guy here and others, they were out in the streets today, walking with the people in protests against America in the streets. And he can do it because he's safe there. He's daring. He is daring, with cameras rolling, the United States government to drop a bomb on him in the street, in the middle of hundreds of thousands of people, like tens of thousands of people at least, all kinds of people. If that happens, they're done. There's no, they can't, I think they're done anyway. There's no PR saving any of this. Like, they're done. And he knows this. They know this. So they're kind of like, they're tempting them right now. And what's the U.S. going to say? Oops, we'll let one slip. People aren't going to buy it. Like, they're liars, big time. They tried to say that the new Ayatollah was dead and gone. Then they came out and said, oh, no, well, he's alive, but he's comatose. He's missing a leg. Now he's alive, he's not comatose, but he's damaged. And in hiding. What leader is going? I don't know why they would announce a leader. As I told you earlier, we have not seen proof of life of BB in days. He missed the generals meeting. All these main things in the one video they put out, it was 100% AI generated. Okay, so BB could potentially be deceased or he's in hiding as well. Because they could have shown and proven that, I mean, they hit his one home and killed his brother. Like, if he shows where he's at, they could target it. Why would they not at this point? Why would you announce where you're at this point? Like, the heat is on. It was never like this before. It's on. Both leaders better keep their asses underground as deep as they can right now until this thing is officially waved off. And I'm telling you, the West is playing dirty. All right. Do you know how they killed the Ayatollah? They made everyone think that Israel in the United States was taking a break for a religious thing for the Israelis, right? The Ayatollah came up out of his bunker off this information and had a meeting in his palace. Well, it was all fake. And they dropped bombs on his palace on the information. They faked him. They did a head fake, made him think the coast was clear, and they came out and they smoked him. They're not going to fall for it again. I'm telling you, they're not going to fall for it again. Once you've been bombed on like this in a situation, I'm telling you, would you? I mean, come on. I'm not going anywhere. You may never see the light of day ever again in your life. If it means the only way that you're going to stay alive is staying underground, then that's what you're doing. They've got bunker busters that could still go in and try to get them and this and that, but their cave systems are so extensive that they've been ready for this. They can move around probably for a decade underground and move around and get around. They're not going to stop them. I don't think you won't beat them on a ground war in there. You won't. You could say, "Oh, America's got the baddest weapons, this and that." Well, apparently not. Like, we can't even stop the hypersonics. It's leave it right there. Those are the facts. Check. Our best defense systems, Patriot missile systems on the ground there, cannot stop the hypersonics. That's what's getting through every time, hypersonics. Hell, even lesser, just ballistic missiles have been getting through. That's not a good sign. Low-grade drones and ballistics have been slipping past the Iron Dome in all of our defenses. They're useless against hypersonics. The only thing that they've had thus far that's even remotely worked is the laser that rolled out, the DEWs. And it's interesting that scientist or that general from the military, aerospace, in the weapons department is missing, kidnapped, again, dealing with the same thing. It's interesting when dealing with all the drones. What is the weapon of choice down at the border? New Mexico and Texas. This new laser weapon that they've got. So, laser has shown to be the best way for them to down these drones. But, lasers are lasers, man. Like, if you miss and you miss, the laser keeps going and going and going and like hits a plane in the background. That's the problem. Interesting time with the weapons shifting. I thought this was funny, man. Weekend at Bernie's basically with Iran's leader because he's in hiding, and it's going to be this way. You can even say the same thing about Bibi at this point. Seriously, trying to keep pose. What if both of them are dead? They're both playing this game, and neither one has come out, and the whole world's behind it right now. Like, at some point, you've got to come out and say something like, do you put the body on ice forever and never have a huge ceremony for their deaths? Like, a what? Right? It can't go on forever, right? Like, or can it? In a state of war, they may do whatever. But do you announce a new leader? If you do, you definitely don't announce where the hell he's at. Maybe they already know where people are at. And as soon as you say someone's name, they're like, "Oh, he's right there." Boom. Haven't you learned your lesson? Like, I wouldn't be... I mean, it's like for the U.S. military right now with their drones, it's like whack-a-mole. They see these guys pop up, like bam, bam, bam. Like, do not come out of the underground. Can't you see it's the safest place to be? Learn from that. Learn from that. So all Trump can do is say he's going to kill him. He's going to kill him. And I can't believe how many times he's saying it. He's like, "I don't care." He goes, "I'm going to keep killing him until I feel it in my bones to stop." That was his comment tonight. Till he feels it in his bones to stop. He's like, "If they have another leader, I'll kill him too." And I'm just like, dude. Like, dude. Talking like that. The kill, kill, kill out of this dude's mouth. I don't like it. I ain't feeling it. There's something wrong horribly with it. It's not a man of peace. But that's your Gentile Messiah. That's the rabbi-picked Gentile Messiah. Remember, Trump's like, "I'm not a Christian." Yeah, but we know you're not. You worship the fallen. You've made that clear. And you're controlled by the guys in black hats and wear black blocks on their foreheads. And it seems like Mr. 666, Jared Kushner, could be your handler. seeming he's actually of blood and you're not, they'd put more control and power in his hands, and they would. And he's married in. I mean, it's ridiculous. This is controlled. Everyone sees it at this point. I don't know what the off ramp of this whole war thing's going to be, but well, here's the here. What the hell was that? It sounded weird. I heard something weird. Listen to this.
I'm doing something about it, and I had to take an excursion. We had the greatest economy in history. We still do. Oh, this will bounce right back when it's over, and I don't think it's going to be long. When it's over, this is going to bounce right back so fast.
When are you going to know when it's over?
When I feel it.
Okay.
I feel it in my bones.
Will you ask anybody in particular? Would that be some of these a joint decision?
Well, I deal with people. I have great people.
Yeah.
So when he feels it in his bones, I just want to play for you there. A summary of the attacks here, real quick, on energy. Okay, Saudi Arabia, Oman, UAE, Bahrain, Tehran, all have oil fields, refineries, or storage capacities that have been hit and struck. Kurdistan. I mean, Saudi Arabia is on here multiple times. They're pulled into this big time. They're right across the waterway. Well, you know, Iran's supposed to be like some mortal enemy. The Sunnis and the Shiite and all this, the different sides of religion, of the Muslims and this and that. But it's in the end, I don't know, all this warring. It's like this thing could go to a nuclear point. It really does. Like, not just where someone drops a nuke, but like hits a nuke. Yeah, they're dropping mines. Like it hits a nuclear facility or something like that. Like, I got one lined up after this. I want to point out that there's mines being dropped in the Straits of Hormuz. They were saying like just a handful at a time, but no. They're saying there's thousands. They've like thousands out there. And that you either go through a direct small area or you hit them. There's 3,000 to 6,000 mines out there. That's what they're assessing right now. It's not just a little bit. There's thousands. And look, this is what I'm talking about. Iran's ballistic missiles target NATO's Incirlik Air Base in Turkey and fly right over it. What is important about this? This is where our nuclear weapons are stored. Yeah, so this is where nukes are stored in the area, and they know this. Everybody knows it. And why you would let the whole world know these things is stupid. That's why the world's a stage, man. All they got to do is just drop a couple hypersonics there, deep divers, and it's over. They're underground, but not super deep. They get to them. They get to them. You know, you drop a couple dozen hypersonics over there with deep penetration warheads, man, they're going to get to it. Don't get it twisted. Iran has weaponry. They have drones for days, missiles for days. That is for sure. And anyone in the area, they can light up for days. They're still going through the low-level stuff, man. This has been the problem because it's causing other places to deplete their defenses. Look at this. Drone strikes are now targeting police units in Tehran. This is at ground level. Watch this. Pay attention. Watch this shot. Just out of nowhere. Nailing the police vehicle. Just a ball of fire. It's going to happen quick. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Ripped right through it like light. And into the next field, everything on fire. all these people are like, nope, nope, I'm out. See ya. I'm out. Yeah, I don't know. This is that I'm gonna play it one more time. I mean, everything it did it like lightning, and everything it touched it like lit up. So it just shows you, man, just police cars are getting targeted, rolling down the road and getting wiped out, just in the middle of nowhere. This is something that is going to be a potential big game changer here. America's cheap Iranian Shahed drone clone. So if you see these things raining down on the West Coast like they just threatened, and this is the magic trick. Listen to me. They embedded it into the Obama movie, Sigil, okay? But now they've made sure that in the minds of all the people out there, listen, they made sure that these triangle drones are in your mind connected to Iran. Yep. You know it. So when these triangular looking drones come raining down anywhere, and they're like, it's them, people are going to believe it almost like that. And why would you not? Because that's the weapon of choice. That's all you've seen. But I'm letting you know, your American government has clones out the wazoo. Okay? So, this is what's going down here, man. They've got them. Just staged events, anything crazy happens, just know, man. Yeah, we copied them 100%, and you know how they work. You know how they operate out here. This almost is like an easy one for them. Too easy, Like, I make mention of these things when I see the potential for a big event here that they could play to their advantage, man. So just remember that. Where we at? Already past the top of the hour. All right, well, we got a couple more here. As always, I'll try to wrap these up here and get this whole show in within at least 2.5 hours. So here in the next 10, 15 minutes or so. And then we've got some music we're going to take us out of here with tonight as well from Crown Jewels, Fire to Flame. Thank you, Gio. Thank you for that comment. This says pro-war Republican senator apologizes for Iran girls. So this is them admitting we killed all the schoolgirls. Okay? Wasn't no maybes. We did it. Trump lied, acting like, I didn't hear about it, didn't know about it. Garbage. He knew about it. He knew about it full scale, and our politicians are saying, look, we made a mistake. Saying we're sorry it happened. It doesn't bring anyone back, but 175 people lost their lives because our military screwed up, and our president deflects on it instead of admitting. This is what happens in war, man. And people are pissed. People have every right to be out there protesting or doing anything and everything right now. Unfortunately, there probably won't be any protesting. What you're going to see is people just go the other way politically, which is not the answer. And look at this. Saudi Arabia is going to buy Ukrainian interceptor drones. So all these cats are trying to buy cheap drones. So people are like, oh, the small drones they're not lethal. Well, yeah, they are. They're the deadliest, most lethal weapon on the battlefield right now. And they also serve as one of the top defensive mechanisms to counter the other drones incoming. So they're key right now, and they're going to be key from here on out, even as the battlefield unfolds in America. It hasn't even really begun here. You watch. You watch as all the chaos begins, and weaponized drones start getting used here and dropped in and bombed in places, and it gets more sporadic and picking up. It will. It will. It's where it's going from here. They brought it to us. That's why I said you better get ready for war. Telling you. So, Western leaders trying to blame Putin all of a sudden, they always gotta have somebody to blame, right? We know that China and Russia are allies of, this whole thing with Iran. They're feeding them. No doubt about it. They're feeding them like, missiles, weapons, drones, you name it, on the back end. It's what allies do. It's no secret. And to me, it's going to be going on for days. Now, there's a clip here that I want to play. Let's see. We'll end with this. Pull this up on the. We'll go over to the feed. We'll play this. And then we'll go over to my feed and we'll wrap up with some stuff off the feed. Go over to the comments. We'll play this. Might as well just play the whole thing and let him say it, and then we'll tackle it.
Have you been briefed about how many Iran sleeper cells there could be inside the U.S. right now?
I have been, and a lot of people came in through Biden with this stupid open border. But we know where most of them are. We've got our eye on all of them, I think.
Is it dozens?
They came in through the open border policies of Sleepy Joe Biden, one of the worst president in the history of our country. And we've got our eyes on all of them. But the war itself is being prosecuted at a level that nobody's seen before. It's pretty amazing to watch.
Notice he immediately blames Joe Biden for what's about to happen. They asked him if he knows about the sleeper cells getting alerted here. His response was a deflection to blaming Joe Biden for all these people coming here. And he responds and says, we know where they all are, tracking every one of them. We think. All it takes is one or two. Could have been tracking 100 up, or 100 of them are on the list and tracking 99. Just takes the one. Dude, I don't trust this piece of work at all. Slimy. Sellout. He's the worst ever. And that's not a political bias or anything like that. That's just on a human level here. The guy is he's decimated. He's decimating everything everywhere. And he's shown me for sure he's not here to help us. Nuh-uh. At all. He's doing all these things against us and to our detriment. I go on and on and on. Just wait till everybody is like without a job and you're homeless. And you remember that this guy's got an executive order on the books to round up the homeless. That you let slide because you thought it was because of drugs. And you still don't know where they're taking the people to this very hour. Forget about all that, huh? That was even before the strike teams got rolled out. So wait till the strike teams get turned on us. That's what's coming. This piece of work, he thinks they know where they're all at. I don't trust it. I don't trust him. I don't trust none of it. I don't trust the government. Obviously, you shouldn't either. not the feds. They have a track record that's not trustworthy. It's just start there. Why? Just to start there. Go on and on and on. I'm going to scroll down through the feed here before we shut it down. And I just want to say that we have people, customers without power across the U.S., Pacific Northwest, and a lot that you can see here in this image. Ohio, Indiana, Virginia, West Virginia, high winds, and the high winds came through here today. They were hardcore. They are the culprit. Let's point out that Brazil's President Lula says if we fail to prepare, the day could come when someone attempts to invade us. Who in the world would that be? It's Trump. We stopped at Venezuela. We're buddies with Argentina. In the middle in a huge chunk of all of South America, or else they could take over the whole thing. It's Brazil, part of BRICS. You see, the heat is, he must be feeling it. I'm telling you, he's saying it out loud right now. Like, you got to prepare. Yeah. Like, they're coming. As soon as they're done with these other areas, they're going to turn their guns down there. Why would they not? And they will. They will, to secure the American hemisphere, whatever they're going to try to say at this point. All of the Americas. Because at that point, Brazil will be like the only big one standing out that outside of Cuba at this point. That's like giving them a huge problem. Of course, they got issues with other leaders and countries, but most of them are bending the knee kind of to Trump. Here's one. The death penalty is being rolled out for people that abuse children in Florida. So if you're any pedos out there, I don't think you want to be going to Florida from here and getting caught, or they're going to hang you. Helping cancer patients, they say here, is now, as William Mancus says, they've outlawed it in Canada. And they're saying that they can no longer do all these different things. So he's going to Florida to work, which is going to be a plus for people in Florida and in America that want help in this field. But yeah. I've got clips over here. I'm not going to show this one, but it's of Palantir. It's how they're tracking everything. They can track it. Maybe I should here. Yeah, I'm just going to play it.
This is Maven Smart System, Palantir's software as a service product that we are deploying across the entire department.
Watch.
As you can see, it's not just one data feed, it's multiple. And instead of having 8 or 9 systems for those decision makers to look at every single day, in order for them to make decisions, you then fuse it into a single visualization tool. The single visualization tool allows you to select, deselect different types of data, look at different approaches to data, but more importantly, action from the same system that you're trying to develop your workflows around. Once you have a detection that you want to actually move into a targeting workflow, for example, this is what we do. Left click, right click, left click, magically,
wait till his last word.
That detection then gets moved into a workflow. This is standard digitized workflow, but I want to walk you through it quickly. You have different types of targets that are identified on the left there. Every single column produces a different type of decision-making process. Once you have that decision and you're trying to actually action that process, we now move into COA generation, course of action generation, where we are automatically, via a number of factors, trying to identify what the best asset to prosecute a target looks like. Once we've got the different approaches and we select one, we then can move directly into how do we action that target. So we've gone from identifying the target to now coming up with a course of action to now actioning that target all from one system. This is revolutionary. We were having this done in about 8 or 9 systems where humans were literally moving detections left and right in order to get to our desired end state, in this case, actually closing a kill chain. This.
Did you hear that? To get to the desired part, which is closing a kill chain. Did you hear how he just discreetly says that as he turns around and kind of walks off and as we close the kill chain. As they close a kill chain, everything you just watched was tracking humans and killing them. Much love, Steve. So the software right there, Palantir, this is what it's doing. It's streamlining everything. And just how to track people and how to kill them easily. Easily. All right. Iran hit central Israel. You can see massive damage. They're getting hit hard. They're getting hit hard. We're gonna see. If you did not know earlier, I said that there was a cargo plane that went down over Iraq. The militias are claiming they shot it down. And right there, you can see the leader, one of the leaders of Iran, walking in the street with the people, daring them to bomb him. Democrats now projected to seize control of both chambers of Congress in November. Dude. Wow. What's Mark Slapinski say here? Trump's wife, Melania, was Epstein's sloppy seconds. Out of the stuff, and when you go into it, the email, because I read it, it's Trump saying she was a hot piece of ass. Like that's like the hottest piece of ass. This in Epstein saying all these things. Trump comes out of being with her, and this other lady was kind of insinuating that Melania was basically sold to Trump because she got too old. Like, you're talking about a man that traffics and prostitutes humans all the way down to children, and he likes them young. All of them do. But Trump fell in love with this one, and he knew it. Epstein knew it, and the emails show it, because he was sitting there bragging, saying that when Trump walked out of the room after banging Melania, that he was saying, man, that's the hottest piece of ass in the world and all this stuff. And that's where all this is coming from. And it was already mentioned that she came from those circles. That's how they met. That she came through this circle. And like, people were trying to deny it, didn't want to hear it. But time after time after time, there's a million pictures already of all of them hanging out. I'm talking some parties. These guys go back, man. This has been going on for a long time, man. You're talking, what is Barron now? Even like 19, 20 years old? You're talking before he was even born or brought on the scene and all that. Like, it's been going on a long time. They're in pictures and all this stuff at the parties and videos. Look, man, I know how these cats roll. Deep and dark, and I've always looked at her like, man, people people just don't know. It's time for all of us to become the exorcist. Start putting holy water on the demons. And Oh, here it is. Here's the one email. It says, I simply cannot believe this victory. No one called it. We all thought she'd win. You must be happy, though. I remember flying back with Donald on his plane. The first weekend I went to visit you in Florida was the weekend he met Melania, and he kept on coming out of the bedroom saying, wow, what a hot piece of ass. Nuts. Anyway, hope you're enjoying Saudi. See, that's just because you got all these communications. Like, they're all dirty dogs, dude. Don't you know? Come on, man. As dirty dog as it gets, man. Man, they did Debbie and all of Dallas. All these cats, man. It's they're bad. They're demons. Demon whores. If you don't know, old Larry Silverstein, a gremlin there. He still alive and kicking, I guess. He the guy that cashed out on all the money, the insurance on the World Trade Center towers, he bought a bank tower in California. It's eerily, it's a slender tower. It's I tell everybody, just stay away, run. Oh, there he is. Dr. Simon Godek says, good morning to everybody but this demon. Yeah, that's Mr. 666 Fifth Avenue right there. Probably is the handler of, because he's one of them thoroughly. And what else? Oh yeah, I can't help but when I see I follow these guys, they have all the ancient stuff like Tartaria and all that stuff, and like all the ancient buildings and the old stuff, and a lot of the cathedrals. Like, where did all the beauty go in society? You just don't see it out there anymore. Like, you know, just looking at a street lamp, classic example. You know, things have dulled down. Oh, and there was the stuff that I was talking about with all BB, and this is we've got enough evidence proof now. This is AI generated video. It's not even a really good one at that, man. Like all of this, it's what I call AI slop, but it's a nub that comes off, and this happens in a bunch of the AI stuff. Some people are going to argue and say, oh, they only see the 5 fingers up here, and that's what it looks like when you make a fist in your hand on the side, and you should know that, and blah, blah, blah. But like, no, I'm not. And look at that. Like, I'm not, there's something there. There's a crack between them. There's a crack between them. At the last finger, there's no crackage no more. There's no dark at the last one. You see. So we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 when you throw that nub in there. As far as I can tell. And the reason I say this, and the reason the hand circled, and yes, it only has 4 fingers and a thumb, we know this, is because of the look. Anyone that deals with AI, those are like not real looking hands. And again, this nub, that was like a telltale sign. The reason I say this and know this is because I've spent time making images through Grok and through AI. Okay, I spend time doing it. Okay, and I get an image back with myself, maybe of Hoodie Ross, whoever it is. I'm making an image of whoever, could be of Trump. But guess what? It was almost perfect. But why's it got 6 fingers? It happens 7 out of 10 times, I'm going to say, when trying to make something. It's a huge flaw that I've seen in the AI. And I know it because I do it and I use it. And that's why when I see this, I know all these things stand out. And then, as we pointed out earlier, there was teeth missing in his mouth and all this other stuff that should have been there. And If you go ask Grok himself about the video, it says that it's 100% AI generated. So I don't know what to say. To clear that up, sometimes it's not worth hating each other and arguing over small stuff like that. Again, someone says that they see 4 fingers, 5, hey, it's where it's not the end of the world. This is from them Old Dominion cats that took the cat out, the terrorist out. Right there. On point, man. It's the last thing that dude saw right there. Oh, man. I wish you guys well out there. I think it's all I got here in the feed, really. You guys can come over here and check my feed. And I keep posting. This keeps happening. Trillions wiped out from the stock market. Like I'm like every other day or something, and it's getting posted. Yeah. So much love to all you guys. Thank you again for joining, hanging out. Going to take us out of here tonight with a new one here from Crown Jewels. Let me get this lined up right here. And we've got more on the way. Still waiting on a link for Yeah Yeah, the song with Hoodie Ross. My iTunes link. I might try this new place with this hard song that I'm about to drop. I got a hard song, man. Like I've got a really hard one that's coming here, man. Like with me and Fight a Flame. And I might have to even, some of them weren't even like, I have whip up a little music video for it or something, like, because when you're making music like we do, we drop them, like we dropped so many, there's not music videos. People don't even know where to get our music half the time. Making a music video, even if it's just a placeholder image or something that kind of moves or whatever, it's a place that it can be found and it's there and in all that. So might go that route. Sometimes the songs I drop, I've been shocked. I'll look over and like YouTube or whatever AI, it sucks them up maybe through TuneCore when it kicks it out over there, but I'll see my image and a song and you could find it on, it's called a topic. The topic is me, Dabu7, and like under that topic is the music videos. It's just an image with the song. It's crazy. I didn't even know that they were there. But like, anyhow, much love. Thank you for all the support, y'all. Be blessed. Be ready. God bless. You got that right. Much love, Navy. Everybody out there. Cannons, my brother. Spiro, all my cats, all my brothers and sisters. Wish you well. If you need me, get a hold of me. As I always say, if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I'll see you here next time for Underground World News Live, Monday, 8 o'clock. Here we go.
Sound ready tracks.
When we lock arms and the work's begun, and what comes out is what has become. From nothing to something on this world we're on, we make it do what it do now. You need to learn to walk before you run, and learn to aim before you shoot a gun. Life's a blessing, so bring perfection and make it do what it do now. Yo, it's that time again to make it do what it do. So I'm holding down the track like duct tape, hot gorilla glue. It's what I do. There ain't no touching the mic after I've knew the move with the flame of truth. The flame's the proof. Of course. The range I aim and shoot, cause I fire the flame and all I aim to do. Whether throwing the dart or just shooting hoops, it's all the same mentality. I do the do.
Yeah.
Kung Fu, it's chop the beat like karate. My pen bleeds each, we're not extinct on classics. I've battled left and right, commies and fascists, and seen the code to practice vanish like magic. So fuck the fear code, it's all I hear for years. So when the fear appears, close your ear hole. We revere our heroes and not in here, yo. We ain't having no weirdos. The game's full of De Niro's, actors in suits. So the two texts took 2 steps to quickly regroup. We keeping it true, strictly culture and roots. A flame's a name you can trust to make it do what it do. When we lock arms and the work's begun, and what comes out is what has become. From nothing to something on this world we're on, we make it do what it do now. You need to learn for what
Much love.
and learn
That's
to
why
aim
the
before you
flame,
shoot
crown
the gun.
jewels.
Life's a blessing, so bring perfection and make it do what it do now. Now by the grace of God, I make it do what it do and breathe life into minds. If you knew to never take a guess. They say give us a clue, cause since 1992 we've been ripping mics into us in the likes of you and you in person. And none of these cats can fuck with the third gen. In satanic pentagrams is where they'll burn them. Before a drop of whack verse, the world will end. I do what I do, and that's why I know when my pen touch paper, I make minds blow. I've been surprising folks with these timeless flows. Words plucked out the ether like they found at home. I'm writing poems to beats, making sense of life. I came into this world just to bless the mic and make it do what it do whenever I recite. I always knew from a kid that this would be my life, and that's why today I still do what I do. I'm looking for perfection in all I do, it's all for you. Hip-hop and God's chosen few, make it do what it do and get what's sold to you. But we lock arms and the work's begun, and what comes out is what has become. From nothing to something on this world we're on, we make it do what it do now. You need to learn for what before you run, and learn to aim before you shoot a gun. Life's a blessing, so bring perfection and make it do what it do now.
Much love, Eon.
What's left to be said?
Thank you, Eon. Much love. Let's
What's left to be said? 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 What's left to be said?